As we know, the Supreme Court is an institution that moves on its own watch. They did not signal a specific timeline on when we might get a decision.
No major damage reported in central Texas, but this creek behind me flooded to its highest level since 2015, pouring over out here onto this busy street in downtown Austin during peak rush hour. The DOJ said that the United States is completely entitled to sue Texas over this law because of that private enforcement act, arguing that potential plaintiffs are acting on behalf of the state of Texas. They could, however, avoid this process or any possible legal action if the legislature ironed out an exemption for menstrual products.
We've all heard of burnout and the Great Resignation, but what happens when that carries over into our elections offices? Well, it's happening and did just happen in this one Texas county, less than 3 months away from the November primary election. So now they have no staff. And you see here, they embedded the draft in another story. Because it's a draft, that means it potentially could change. But when the Supreme Court makes its decisions, they have those drafts ready to go.
These loyal supporters are votes O'Rourke knows he has in the bag. Now, he's relying on them to mobilize untapped votes in every pocket of Texas. And as students return to the classroom for the first time today, you can see these fences still being built to add that extra layer of security. The district also said that it will provide extra counselors and emotional support dogs to help with the nerves.
It looks like a typical day at school until you look a little closer.
Nervous, a little at ease, but we got this.
Teachers hugging students a little tighter, seeing through new fences, towering over little ones walking onto campus.
Summer was kind of hard because of what happened.
A reminder of the protection now needed after a gunman killed 19 classmates and 2 teachers days before the end of last school year.
You'll be all right, right?
Yeah.
Cadence Chapa is starting 4th grade at a new campus Tuesday. She was a student at Robb Elementary.
It's a tough situation. I'm proud of her for wanting to go back.
Parents like Justin Chapa reassured by added security measures, but not alone in his nerves about sending his daughter back to school.
Just hard. They're trying, and that's all we could do right now, one day at a time, is try hard for the kids.
Now it's time to heal.
A community fighting to move forward.
But we'll never forget them.
Working to mend what's been broken.
They started sending these quilts.
A family member of McKenna Elrod sending out these handmade quilts.
And this one has cats on it.
A little warmth his family is passing along.
It's one way of them showing their love that they care about Uvalde and care about the kids.
A love these families and kids need as they work through a difficult day together.
We're going to push through as a family and a community.
And all across town, you can find these beautiful murals. There's 21 of them as a tribute to the lives that were lost on that day. In Uvalde, Monica Madden, back to you. From Blue Austin,
we're gonna win,
to the burbs. Democrat Beto O'Rourke says he's leaving no stone unturned in his bid for governor.
We cannot afford to write anybody off or take anyone for granted.
In Republican-leaning Caldwell County,
Fire Abbott!
we find a yelling match between O'Rourke and Abbott supporters.
Oh, of course I respect the effort, yes. They believe what they believe and I believe what I believe.
Hecklers greeted O'Rourke on several events during his Drive for Texas tour.
It's going to be a cold day in hell before he's ever a viable candidate in Texas.
And Beto has confronted them back.
It may be funny to you, but it's not funny to me. Okay?
But the Democratic hopeful is not deterred by critics. In fact, he's hoping to convert a few.
A woman's right, our very democracy, our kids' ability to survive the school year, all are under attack.
these loyal supporters are votes O'Rourke knows he has in the bag. Now, he's relying on them to mobilize untapped votes in every pocket of Texas.
He's tapping volunteers like Colby Wright.
Great if I could change someone's mind, but it's easier to influence a mind that hasn't made a decision yet.
We need all the help we can get.
And Alice Wilson.
State has been Republican for so long that people don't feel like their vote matters, but this year we know it does.
Analysts say O'Rourke will have a harder time with the conservative base, sure to turn out for incumbent Governor Greg Abbott.
This is O'Rourke's third campaign, so there's fewer independent voters to sway and almost no Republican voters to sway.
The very people who've been drawn out of our democracy will provide the margin of victory.
These are like the bougie type.
Like any 18-year-old girl, Menstrual products are a routine purchase for Houston native Zoe Cass.
95 cents.
What she can't understand,
Why is this $11? I could buy a sandwich with $11.
sales taxes are exempt for other health products,
Antiseptic sprays, cold remedies.
but not tampons and pads.
This is insane. These are all tax-exempt items.
Since lawmakers couldn't pass a bill to get rid of the taxes,
Why are we ignoring menstrual products?
she and other Texas teens are trying something else.
If you look carefully, you could classify menstrual products as wound care.
A team of attorneys are working with them to protest the taxes through a refund claim to the state's top accountant.
Wound care supplies exemption has been extended to everything from Band-Aids to eye patches. We argue that feminine hygiene products are already exempt under the controller's own rule.
They could, however, avoid this process or any possible legal action if the legislature ironed out an exemption for menstrual products.
Representative Donna Howard has tried to pass this 3 times.
It's hard to say why it hasn't gotten over the finish line.
She wants her colleagues to understand this is bigger than paying $1 or so on pads and tampons.
Studies that have shown that there are girls who do not go to school on certain days when they have their period because they do not have access to supply. Though that's hard for a lot of people to grasp, that's a reality for those that have very limited incomes.
You can't go to school if you're just free bleeding everywhere.
We got to see the program in action at the end of the school year.
Inside Mrs. Kajaka's makeshift classroom,
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
you'll find students like 3rd grader Leanne,
Great Britain.
Great Britain.
but also a big kid from high school.
One more page.
The duo met every week of the school year to help improve Leanne's reading skills.
She helped me read more. It's been really fun.
Her pronunciation of words has gotten way better, and I'm really proud of her for that.
Leanne and Alyssa are part of the Barbara Bush Foundation's Teen Trendsetter program. It pairs older students with younger ones who are reading 4 months or more behind their grade level. Students who aren't reading proficiently by the end of 3rd grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of school.
If I want things to be great for my students in high school, then we better start building that foundation in elementary school.
Kathy Kajaka is a high school teacher who's been running a Dallas area Teen Trendsetter program for 5 years.
This is just my happy place.
She says her students started at least 6 months behind where they were supposed to be reading last fall.
It just saddens me that we are having kids sort of fall through the cracks.
Unfortunately, Texas is not doing so well.
That's British Robinson, president and CEO of the Barbara Bush Foundation.
This affects every aspect of our life. It's a social issue, it's an economic issue, it's an equity issue, and it's multi-generational.
It's why Robinson hopes to expand programs like Teen Trendsetters to more school districts in Texas and beyond.
It's been wildly successful.
A 5-year analysis of Teen Trendsetters showed mentees progressed 1 grade level or more in reading after 7 months in the program.
Oh, y'all are amazing.
At the end of the year,
I'm really gonna miss her.
students got awards and gave graduation cords to their seniors.
So y'all are going to get to give them the special honor.
Shared memories of growth to last a lifetime.
You can do anything, Leanne, girl. I'm telling you.
It's honestly really life-changing.
It was so great to see those kids. And as a nonprofit, the foundation is able to pay teachers like Kajaka and run Teen Trendsetters thanks to donations and grants